In this video, we're going to look in more detail at the concepts of magnitude and direction. When I introduced the vectors chapter, I said that was the definition of a vector. It's something that had magnitude and direction. So magnitude is just the length of the vector, and the direction is where it's pointing. What we need to investigate is how we can calculate that length, and then how we make sense of what the direction is and how we can describe it. Let's have a look at a simple case. Okay, so here's a simple vector, 4i minus 3j. Let's draw it. So 4i means it goes 4 units to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 units down. 1, 2, 3. So the vector looks like this. Now, could we calculate the magnitude or the length of that vector? Well, actually we can quite easily, because we can see that we have a right angle triangle here. We know it's right angle because the I and j vectors are orthogonal. They're at 90 degrees to each other. That's got a length of 4. And this one, well, okay, it's negative 3 but since it goes down, but it's a length of 3. So we can use Pythagoras really easily and just say that the magnitude of the vector, let's call that m for now, squared, is equal to 4 squared plus negative 3 squared. And it doesn't really matter if you think about that as negative 3 or 3, because when you square them, they both go positive. 16 plus 9 is 25, and therefore the magnitude of the vector is 5. It's got to be positive because it's a length. So we can sort of generalize that to say that if you want to find the magnitude of your vector, just do Pythagoras on the two components. So you'll sometimes see it written as this. Let's say that we gave this vector a name. Let's say we called this vector A. We sometimes see the magnitude written as this, modulus of A, or the magnitude of A. And then we can now further say that it's, in our case here, it's root 4 squared plus 3 squared, or even plus negative 3 squared, doesn't matter. And in general, if we have a vector, let's call our general vector B. No, I'm not going to call it B, I'm going to call it V. You'll see why in a second. If our general vector is xi plus yj, then the modulus of V is the square root of x squared plus y squared. Now, we can get bogged down in this sort of terminology here. The key idea, and I would just think through it like this every single time, is that when you draw out a vector, you can form a right angle triangle based on its I component, its j component, and then you can easily see what to do. All right, so there's the magnitude of our vector. It is 5, and that is a clear, objective answer, and we can all understand why it's 5. What about the direction? Well, direction is a relative concept because there's no objective sense to what direction anyone's facing. It's always relative to something else. So how are we going to describe this direction? The most common ways we end up describing the direction of vectors is either the angle they make with either the I or the j vector, or as a bearing. So if we said find the direction, and it said give it as the angle between the I vector and A. Well, here's the I vector, it's the one that goes straight this way, and here's A. So that would mean finding this angle here. If it was a bearing, well, that's just measured from north, which we always treat to be straight up. So then it would just be all of this angle there, which would just be that theta I've drawn, plus 90. So we've just finished trig chapter, hope you did the trig chapter, so you know how to do this. So in this case, well, in fact, even if you didn't, this is GCSE trig, we can say that tan theta equals, now it really is best to just use positive values here at this stage. We don't want to be going with negative 3, so just imagine this is a triangle with positive 4 there, positive 3 there. So tan theta equals 3 over 4, so theta is inverse tan of 3/4, and we get 36.9. Now, Don't stress about finding second solutions here because, well, in the case of tan, it would involve adding 180, and obviously this angle here is not bigger than 180. So if we're describing it as the angle between the I vector and A, there it is, there's a direction. If we were describing it as a bearing, well, then we would just add 90 to that angle because it would be the entire angle all the way down there. So add 90 to that and we get 126.9. So that would be another way of describing it. But questions will always be quite clear about how to find or how to present the direction. Okay, let's look at some more examples. A equals minus 7i plus j and b equals I minus 5j. Find the magnitude of 2a plus 3b. Well, let's work out what 2a plus 3b is as a vector. So 2a is two lots. I'm going to go to column form here. Minus 7 and 1. Plus 3b, so that's three lots of 1i and minus 5j. So that is negative 14, 2, plus, and then three lots of this one, so that's 3 and negative 15. So what have we got? We've got that this is, in total, negative 14 plus 3 is negative 11, and 2 minus 15 is negative 13. So find the magnitude of that. Well, we can draw it out, and I will draw it out here, although what you'll find is in the end you don't tend to. That's 11 units back this way, because minus 11i, and 13 units down. So that's 11 to the left and 13 down, and the magnitude is here. Now, the reason why we don't always need to draw that out is we know we just need to use Pythagoras. So the magnitude of 2a plus 3b is the square root of 11 squared plus 13 squared. So I don't think this is a Pythagorean triple, so I think I'm going to have to work this out. Yes, so our answer, our exact answer then is root 290. You know, if it had said give your answer to 3 significant figures, then, you know, maybe we could have given it as 17.0, which happens to be the answer to 3 significant figures. Find the angle between 2a plus 3b and the positive x-axis. Okay, so this was the start of my vector, because it went along down, it went this way. The positive x-axis, as you know, goes straight to the right. So it's saying find this angle here. Well, much easier is going to be to find this angle here, and then do 180 minus that. So let's call that angle, any letters we haven't used yet. Let's call that angle P. There we go. I don't think we've used P in this question. Now I know that tan P is opposite over adjacent, so that's 13 over 11. And that means that P is the inverse tan of that. So inverse tan of 13 divided by 11 is 49.8. And that means that theta, or the answer to our question, is 180 minus that. 180 minus 49.8, because it's all on a straight line. So 180 minus my answer is 130.2. So there's our answer. We found the angle between our vector and the positive x-axis. If it said between that and the negative x-axis, that's going this way, so that just would have been P, but the positive one means it's this angle here. All right, last example. In the triangle PQR, PQ is 8 minus 2j, RQ is 6i plus 3j. Find the size of angle PQR. All right, so PQ is 8i minus 2j. So to get from P to Q involves going 8 along and 2 down. That kind of makes sense. I can see I've gone some amount along and some amount down. And to get from R to Q, that is 6 along and 3 up. So 6i plus 3j. Find the size of angle PQR. So that is this angle here. Right, how are we going to do that? Well, there's plenty of ways we could approach it. I think the easiest way to do this is work out the length of each of these sides, this side, and this side, and then use something like the cosine rule to work out the angle. So firstly, what is this vector here that gets us from P to R? Well, remember we can add vectors. So to get one way to get from P to R is to go from P to Q and then from Q to R. So P to R is the same as going from P to Q and then from Q to R. It doesn't matter what route you take with vectors, it matters where you start and where you finish. So PQ is fine, we know what that is, it's 8 minus 2. But QR, well I know what RQ is, so QR must just be the opposite, the negative of that. It's the thing that takes me back. So that must be the precise opposite, it must be minus 6I minus 3J that takes me back down the road. So what do we have for PR? We get that PR is 8 minus 6 is 2, and negative 2 minus 3 is minus 5. So 2 along, 5 down. Okay, so what are the, let's just put that in. So 2 along and 5 down if I'm going this way. So what are the lengths then of each of these? Well, I'm going to do Pythagoras then for each of those. So the modulus of PQ, or the magnitude, is just Pythagoras on that. So it's square root of 8 squared plus 2 squared, which is root 68, 8 squared plus 2 squared, root 68, which is 2 root 17. So that's 2 root 17 up here. And RQ, let's find the magnitude of RQ. So that's the square root of 6 squared plus 3 squared. So 6 squared plus 3 squared, square root of that is 3 root 5. And I'm doing all of this in my calculator, which is absolutely fine. And the modulus of, I keep calling it the modulus, but I think magnitude is the more conventional term. But that symbol is the modulus symbol. It is the root of 2 squared plus 5 squared. So 2 squared plus 5 squared is 29, so that's root 29. So now I've got my lengths on here. That's 3 root 5 and that's root 29. I can do the cosine rule because I've got the 3 known lengths. So specifically I know this length here, this length here. I'm looking for the angle between them and I can set it up in terms of that. So if we're thinking about it as A, B and C, we know that A squared equals B squared. Well, let me write it down. We know that A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cos A. So A squared, well, that's actually quite nice because if you square root 29, you just get 29. So A squared equals B squared and 2 root 17 squared is 68. C squared is this thing squared, which is 45, minus 2B C cos A. All right, let's neaten this up a bit. So we have 29 equals, and then 68 plus 45 is 113. And then 2 times 2 root 17 times 3 root 5, 2 root 17 times 3 root 5 is 12, so minus 12 root 85 cos A. Okay, adding that to both sides and subtracting 29 from both sides, I get 12 root 85 cos A is 113 minus 29, which is 84. Dividing both sides by 12 root 85, I get that cos A equals 84 divided by 12 root 85, which is a bit of a monster on my calculator. It's 7 root 85 over 85. Now, A is just the, I just need to do inverse cos of that. So inverse cos of my answer gets me 40.6. I've just realised I called it theta up here. Let's just rename that as A. So there is the angle PQR. So you can see that quite a lot of trigonometry crops in comes in as well, so we need to be able to recognize that when we see it and be comfortable using it when it does. Okay, that is all for now on magnitude and direction.